want you, this young chap, I want you to train as a surgeon. So I've never persuaded anybody to be a surgeon. I've regretted it in one instance, one chap, looking back on my career, I thought I should have said to this chap, who didn't become a surgeon, I should have said to him, you would make a perfect surgeon, because he had absolutely no imagination. Being the surgical tutor, one of my jobs was to organise the final long cases in surgery, which I did with tremendous enthusiasm and efficiency. We cleared out the children's surgical ward. We sent all the children up to the children's medical ward, out of the way for the day. And we had a row of empty beds, you see. And we brought patients down from the ward, adult patients down, put them in the rows along like that. And then I had all the MB, in Oxford, BM students. Did you wear gowns for finals? They had to wear their sub-fusk with their BA white fur collar, cape as well. And I'd had the list there, you see, and I'd say, Mr. Smith, patient number 1, Miss Jones, patient number 2, Mr. Robinson, patient number 3, Mr. French, 2 little F's, hyphen constant, Mr. French constant, patient number 4, and so on down the road. When I'd finished, French constant came out in his BA gown, and he said, can I have another, it's a torture. Can I have another case? I said, what's wrong with the case I've given you? He's dead. So I looked in, I said, French constant, stand there and don't move. Sister, get the trolley. I said, we had to get the patient. I rushed up to the ward, rushed up to the ward, brought another patient, get into the patient. I said, French constant, I've got another patient for you. You've got an extra 9.5 minutes. Now I didn't, but thinking about it afterwards, I should have said to French constant, you bloody fool. You could have got honours on that case. History, unobtainable. Skin, cooling. And so I said, you're honest. Absolutely no imagination. And thinking about it, I thought, this guy would have made an absolutely outstanding surgeon. He had every attribute that I wished a surgeon to have. Isn't that interesting? French constant. I don't know. I lost count. I don't know what. I must look him up in the directory. I don't know what happened. I went into some sort of administrative job, I believe. Anyhow, he didn't become a surgeon. Of course, as a professor, I've done a lot of examining in my time. In fact, I count I've examined 28 medical schools, 5 or 6 of them overseas. And actually, the exams themselves, I have to confess, they can get a bit boring. But extraordinary things happen to you when you're an examiner. You have great fun as an examiner in all sorts of ways. The funniest thing that happened to me as an examiner was that shortly after I got the job at Westminster, I was asked to examine at the College of Surgeons in Dublin. Fine. So I went over to the College of Surgeons, I flew over, and my colleague was a much senior examiner, a senior surgeon to me, from St Mary's Hospital, Dixon Wright, strange chap, grey hair, rather flopped like that, old-fashioned, high-collared shirt with a cravat, strange chap, but a well-known surgeon. Anyhow, I turned up at the College of Surgeons, they said, you're examining in pathology. To start with, the first exam is pathology, surgical pathology. And that's fine, so I went in, sat down, and they said, the porters have given you a box of specimens at the side there. So the first candidate came, I sat down. As I went down to get the bottle, he said, it's gallstones, your worship. I picked up the bottle, gallstones. Put my hand down for the next bottle, and as I brought the bottle up, he said, it's a carcinoma of the rectum, Your Honour. And so on. He knew the specimens before I'd seen them myself. So during the coffee break, I said to Dickie White, these little swines, they're crossing the porter's hand with gold, and they know the specimens. He said, it's the same with me. I said, well, there's nothing we can do about it now. Dixon White said, we'll fix them next time. So next time, I suggested that I bring some specimens, but he said, look, I'm senior to you. I'll bring the specimens. I'll bring them for the College of Surgeons. I'm on the council of the College of Surgeons. I'll fetch the specimens. So 6 months later, we turned up at Heathrow, and there was Dixon White, who I must say looked a bit like an undertaker with his high wing collar. I got them here, and he opened his carpet bag, and there were these jars, and on top, I saw what was my favourite specimen. And he said, it's my favourite specimen too. It's a unique specimen. It's the eyes in a bottle in a case of exophthalmic goiter. It's a unique specimen, which I've taught on many times. So we flew over to Dublin. When we got to Dublin, this was ages ago, it was just at the beginning of the Troubles. They just started, the bombings in London, they just started. So as we all got out, there was Dickie White with his carpet bag with the specimens in. As we got out and went into the reception lounge, the Garda were there. There was a whole row of the police, the Garda. And they said, we're searching, everybody from London, we're searching again. So Dickie was the first one in. They opened up the case. Out came the specimen of the eyes and exophthalmos. And the Garda said, holy mother of God, what's this? And Dixon White, looked like an undertaker, said, it's my old mother. It's my old mother's eyes. And as she lay on the deathbed, she made me promise one last look at the old country. We were through in a flash. If you want to smuggle contraceptives into Dublin, just go along to the College of Surgeons, get the specimen of the eyes, put them on top. Anyhow, I've got to stop soon because we want the next course. People sometimes say, what's the funniest thing? Can I tell you one more true story? These are true stories, honestly. More or less true. The Dixon White story is absolutely true. Years ago, shortly after I retired, I got a letter from the editor of the BMJ saying we're writing to some retired consultants. We're going to do a little series, half a page, no, less than half a page. We'll pay. What's the funniest or the saddest thing that's ever happened to you in your clinical practice? You've just been retired. What's the funniest thing? Well, so many sad things have happened to me in my life. I write a book. So this really was the funniest thing that's ever happened to me. I used to run a Saturday morning clinic, Saturday morning surgical. Great. Started at 8:30, went on until we finished. It was wonderful because a lot of people can come in on Saturday, the roads are empty, you can park outside Westminster. It was wonderful, and wonderful selection of patients. So we had a lot of postgraduates, students coming, working for their finals, would come along Saturday morning. And the reason why the clinic went so well was nothing to do with me, it was the outpatient Sister MacDonald, great big, tall, Scottish girl, and she ran the clinic like a sergeant major in the Guards. We had a row of cubicles, you see, and she'd say, next patient, cubicle number 1, get your clothes off. Professor, Professor Ellis, cubicle number 2 is ready. Next patient, cubicle number 3, get your clothes off. Go, Professor Ellis, cubicle number 1. It was like a conveyor line in a Ford motor factory. You see, wonderful. Anyhow, I was busy working in the clinic, and I saw a sister sending a patient, rather dark, obviously foreign gentleman, very well dressed, not like our typical Westminster National Health Service patient, and he had a big box with him, beautiful box decorated with a bow on it and so on. And I said, go in there, get undressed, Professor, we'll do in a minute. And I went in there, came in, there's a foreign gentleman there. I went in with all the students, and this foreign gentleman, stark naked, was sitting on the examination couch, holding this big box, and he said, "Are you Professor Ellis?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm the cousin of Mr. Ali Morshed from Tehran," he said. "You did a great operation on him a year ago. I'm coming through London on business, and he asked me to come along to see you, tell you that he's doing very well indeed, and give you this present, a box of Persian pistachio nuts." Well, of course, the students were having hysterics. The system was going mad. Our whole system was collapsing. So I said, Ellis, years of experience, eyes steely behind my spectacles. So, I'm so glad to hear that Mr. Morshed is doing well. Give him my kind regards when you get home. Thank him for this beautiful box of pistachio nuts. And you can get dressed now. If you go and visit a mosque, they say, take your shoes off. You don't say, I'm Christian. You take your shoes off. If you go to a mitzvah, they say, put this little thing on your head. You don't say, I'm not Jewish. You put it on your head. So if you go along to see the great Professor Ellis, with a box of pistachio nuts from a relative, and the sister says, take off all your clothes. Especially if it's Sister Mackenzie. Thank you very much.